Just days from the end of Park High's autumn term and the mini-enterprise is underway.
Come and buy a Cadbury's hot chocolate!
Business studies pupils at the Harrow Comprehensive get a taste of life's cut and thrust when they set up their own companies. Top of the profit table is Porky's, selling sweets and drinks. Head teacher Keith Ford's reign is nearly over. He leaves at Christmas.
You allowed them here?
You thought you were allowed them.
Porky's gain is the canteen's loss. Takings are well down, and the jobs of these women could be on the line. Canteen manager Pam Franklin tackles business studies teacher Barbara Roberts.
But, you see, the children aren't coming to us.
No, but the point was, I had them trading here because I thought they would have gone past to you there.
No, they're not. They're coming straight in here. They're not coming to us at all.
Cooked food is not allowed outside the dining hall. Now that is cooked food. I am fed up with seeing chips, sauce and those cartons all over the school.
When we look in here, you're absolutely packed out in here, and we're in there for about a quarter of an hour. Nothing. Which we can't do.
How about we sell off our stock today and we finish trading?
That's fine. Yeah, I'll do that for you.
That's very nice.
I don't want to stand in your way at all.
No, I know that.
I realise,
I know,
but
yes.
I've got to look after.
Yes, of course. You've got jobs on the line.
A bit cutthroat then it's getting at school, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Do you feel a bit of a meanie?
I do really, but then I think I've got to respect the ladies in there as well, haven't I?
And if this has taught you one thing about the wacky world of business, what would it be? Don't enter it.
And if you take it back to the dining hall, I will ignore the fact you don't know the school rules. All right?
Yes, sir.
There's a deal. Go. Fastest way you can, straight back.
In many ways, Ford's role as head conforms to the traditional stereotype. But in fact, his job has been transformed. There have been momentous changes in the whole education system. Park High now have to publish their exam results. They'll be put into a league table with other schools' results. Park will do well, but the head is not in favour.
It's a con, it doesn't tell parents anything. And you can manufacture results anyway, you can manipulate. There is a school, and I'm not going to mention any names, that is rumoured to get rid of children who are clearly not going to do well at exams. You can get rid of children. The competition lies in the quality of children, if you can say that. The competition is in getting the children who are going to get the A's, so you're top of the league table, so you keep getting the children who get the A's. And that's nasty. That's nasty competition, because that doesn't make you comprehensive.
And no one wants to help the children at the bottom of the pile?
We do.
Great effort, well done. Go and get your ticket.
Park High is popular. Many more children want to come to the school than can be accommodated. 750 hopeful parents turned up at the school's open evening, yet Park can only take about 230 pupils every year.
The recent changes say that parents have choice, and in fact, the recent changes have made sure that parents simply don't have choice.
Under the system in Harrow, parents who attempt to choose anything other than their local school may not only fail to get into the school of their choice, but also lose the place they held locally.
It's a very dangerous game, and most parents, I would imagine, will stop selecting another school. It's embarrassing because you get people telephoning and they honestly do believe that you can give a place. I mean, I've been offered computers, watches. You know, people are actually beginning to actually offer perks. If you let my daughter in, I will give you.
The school's annual careers convention. The children here are having to consider life after Park High. In a matter of months, they'll walk out of the school gates for the very last time.
People say that school days are the best years of your life. You know, I used to laugh at it before, but it's true, because when I leave Park High, I don't know what I'm going to do, because I won't be out in this sort of big, bad world, and I won't have all my friends around me for support.
Many pupils are still unsure about the future, but others have already made their minds up.
Can you tell us a little bit about what kind of craft work you'd like to do?
Engraving.
That sounds nice. Okay, stones and that sort of thing? Or jewellery or metalwork?
Shotguns and...
Lois sees her future in flying.
I'd like to join the RAF and be a pilot. It is the excitement involved in flying, I suppose, the speed. It's so different compared to any other career there is. I think that's the main attraction.
Alex is also aiming high.
You can laugh if you want, because this is very funny. Now, I'd like to, you know, kind of either be an actor or a singer or whatever I want to be, just as long as I'm famous, it doesn't matter.
Why is fame so important to you?
Oh no, it's just been one of my great ambitions. You know, I have a certain hunger to actually go out and do it.
Do you find it stressful?
There are times when it can be, yes.
Lois's work experience was with the RAF.
So I'm sure that's the same with any job.
If you could fly anything, you'd want to be a fighter pilot?
Yes, I would like to be a fighter pilot. But women can't become fighter pilots, so...
But maybe one day?
One day, maybe.
Alex gained his experience at the school's karaoke afternoon.
The money doesn't matter, though. The money doesn't matter, just the fame.
The RAF is male-dominated, but the numbers of females are increasing. I mean, it will be hard, but things are changing now.
Do you think there's any reason why women can't make it in the RAF?
No, there's no reason, really. I mean, there are women pilots in other countries. Why can't they be in this country? It's tough to get into. So.
Do you think you'll make it?
I hope so.
On the football pitch in my spare time, I'd model myself on Gary Lineker. And business side, in the future, I might model myself on, say, Tom Cruise.
Thank you. I'll be back later on.
All right, okay, fine.
Maeve should do well in her exams. She wants to go on to further education. It's something her father never had the chance of.
When I left school, I remember it very clearly. I went to the labour exchange as it was then. The woman said to me, "What do you want to do?" Well, I mean, what a question to ask.
Do you consider the Air Force to be sexist?
Yeah.
You do?
As there's less jobs around, I think I've got to get something, you know, qualifications, whatever. Because I know a lot of people who have left school and haven't got anywhere, you know. They're still on the dole or whatever.
And you would be right.
Max faces a more uncertain future. He's 15 and not one of Park High's most mature students.
Okay, right. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon, Max.
Beg your heart, Teddy.
I beg your pardon. Max.
Sorry for being blessed from the Spirit.
Max.
Max is often in trouble.
I was threatened that next time that happened I would be suspended.
What did you do then?
Oh, I told Mr. Wittius and sucked my plums.
Have you thought about what you'd like to do when you leave school?
Think about being either a psychiatrist or a lawyer.
Well, seriously?
Seriously.
Why?
Lawyers, like as I said, I get a satisfaction out of talking my way out of trouble. And I could be talking someone else's trouble, so I'd be satisfied. I enjoy doing the work. And psychiatry, I like to talk about problems. I like to talk about people's problems and that, and solving them.
Max, could I just have that apology properly, please?
I'm very sorry.
That's
for being
okay.
blasphemous.
Thank you.
I mean, do you regret leaving school at 14?
Oh, of course. Because I've been struggling ever since I left school, you know. Financially, you are. I mean, if you haven't got the education, especially in this day and age, you're in dead trouble.
Do you think of yourself as a career woman, or do you think of yourself as a family woman? I mean...
Career. It's the money, basically. I know it's bad to say that, but money, you know. I should be thinking about what job I enjoy most, but I mean, I like money.
If you go to work and you might be earning an awful lot of money and you don't enjoy it, going out to work, which I did for many, many years, it's a waste of time, you know, it just destroys you in the end.
Do you know small Paul Rhodes? Oh, yeah, do you know that stick for the window? That you open the window, and I said I'll beat up Miss Craythorne for a laugh of it.
Oh, I'm not surprised that Miss Craythorne was a bit fed up with you.
But if you seriously want to go into a profession like being a lawyer, do you think there comes a time when you have to start behaving at school?
Oh, yeah.
And when would that time be?
I could say so and it wouldn't happen. As soon as I can, that's all I can say. I mean, I'd love to stop being the way I am, but I don't know, once you do so many things, it's hardly any way of stopping it.
Take it home, please. With the term coming to an end, the row over Deborah Stein shows no sign of subsiding. The local paper has now picked up on Deborah, who was given a detention for leaving the school without permission, but claims she was the victim of a prank. Her parents say she will not serve the punishment. The school does not believe Deborah's story that another pupil told her her mother was sick. They think she truanted and have stated she can only return to Park when she does the detention. Thursday morning, a mother and daughter unexpectedly arrive at the head's office.
I'm bringing her to school because we feel she should be at school. And you're telling me you're not accepting her. What did you just say?
My actual words were, I shall exclude her.
So you're not accepting her?
No, I said I shall exclude her.
Well, can you do it now?
There's a letter.
No, we don't accept what you're doing. We feel that you're stopping my daughter the right to her rightful education. And this matter is not going to be left here. This matter is being taken further and higher than you. And if you think you're going to get away with it, you can think again.
It's not about winning. I mean, you know, everyone loses because the girl's not at school, and she should be. It's not she can't win, because I don't see it as a battle. Basically, she can win easily. The girl does a detention for breaking the school rules. Quite simple.
And open to any approach you would like to make to arrange for Deborah to serve her detention. Not having this.
The Steins decide to appeal.
In my time as a deputy and a head, that's 10 years, I've only ever once had to go to an appeal, and that was at this school 2 years ago. We won the appeal.
The reason for this chap actually being totally fleshless is that after about 15 years, there won't be any flesh or any hair.
Yeah. So you did that?
Yes, and also...
Ravi is certain about what career he wants.
I think maybe both his arms are broken and a broken leg. There we go.
Marking it out.
Ravi wants to join the film industry. His work experience was behind the scenes on the TV series Inspector Morse. One of his jobs, to bury a murder victim.
It's just such a different life. It's not sort of like sitting behind a desk in an office and just working. There's so many things going on at once. And you don't actually stick to the same job for your whole life. You can move on to other things, other films, other parts of the business.
What about money?
Money, I've heard the money's good. I'm not complaining.
Is that important to you?
Yeah, definitely.
What's the problem, Andreas?
I don't really feel well.
Andreas does not know what he wants to do. He's not been a success at Park High.
You are out of order, aren't you? Sit there, keep it shut to the end of the lesson. No, shut up.
He's got brains, but he doesn't use them because he's loud and he doesn't keep his mouth shut when he should keep his mouth shut.
All right, man, it's me, your ass.
Andreas had not wanted to do his work experience at an insurance office.
Maybe there's more to it than there seems to be to you at the moment.
Yeah, because I can't type and I've got to type. And I don't really like answering phones, and that's what I've got to do. And I don't really like making cups of tea.
Oh, right.
So I think school's what you make it.
What have you made it?
Hell.
Only about 10% of the 16-year-olds at Park High will not go on to further education. Andreas is one of those, and as such earns an early careers interview.
I wear glasses.
You do? Right, OK. You wear glasses for?
My eyes.
For distance, for reading?
They discuss Andreas's work experience in insurance.
What were you doing there?
being a slave.
Mm.
Just doing everything they couldn't bother to do. I thought like I'd be interesting as well, but sort of found out otherwise. Because you always have to deal with their complaints and, you know what I mean? And I don't really like people complaining. Gets my nerves.
Yeah, right.
Ideally, I would have liked him to have gone on to do something like accountancy or possibly a lawyer. I know that sounds silly, but I always thought he was capable of it.
I just want to be doing something that interests me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's the tricky bit, is finding out what the interest is, isn't it? Hmm?
I will worry about him because I know what sort of temper he's got, and I know that if a boss pushes him too far, his attitude would probably be, well, to hell with your job, I'm going. So yes, I do worry. I worry that he's going to leave school and maybe go into a job that he's not going to be very happy doing.
Andreas is considering mechanics. He's been asked how he would change a wheel.
Yeah, come on, tell me what you do.
You've got to get that thing with you, haven't you? That thingy that lifts the car
Come on, not
up.
get that thing with you. What do you do?
You've got to lift the car up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to unscrew the nuts.
How do you lift the car up?
With one of them thingies. It's sort of, I don't know what it's called.
He's one of those who's not exactly in fantasy land, but he's very much in sorting himself out land, isn't he? You know, he's another one who doesn't really fit in with school, and he's sort of physically, he's all over the place, isn't he? And he's obviously got to get himself channeled a bit.
Will you regret, do you think, ever, maybe in 5, 10 years, looking back, that you didn't make more of your school life?
I think I regret that I was so bad and think about what I could have done if I never mucked about, and just have to wait and see what I make of myself.
As for Ravi, his hard work appeared, albeit briefly, before the public earlier this year.
Something in here. And dig it up, for God's sake, dig it up. Moss. Who's that, Moss?
I was a bit disappointed to see that they didn't show the whole clip of it, but it was nice to see the actual scene because I knew that I'd actually made it and been there.
The head departs for the Civic Centre and the hearing over Deborah Stein. He feels he can't back down.
The only sanction we've got left, basically, is detention, when it boils down to it. You know, the parents call out that they want discipline, and then they turn around and, if they don't like something, they scream that we're being unfair.
The appeal, which is heard by a senior education officer, does not last long. It upholds the school's stand.
They weren't prepared to listen
in any shape or form. They weren't prepared to accept that my wife had been ill, anything to that. So they were quite adamant. In fact,
they'd made their minds up before we even got in there. They're not prepared to listen. They don't want to know.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to take her to school tomorrow morning and let him throw her out. That's what he's going to do. Let him do it.
The mother said that she's going to bring Deborah up to school tomorrow regardless and insist on bringing her in. And I can't believe a parent could do that.
What do you do if she does that? How do you handle that?
Well, it's totally unique as far as I'm concerned. If a parent's willing to put their child through that sort of humiliation and embarrassment, I just wonder if they've got the welfare of the daughter at heart.
The following morning, and the head has asked the local police officer to be present. Within minutes, Mrs. Stein and Deborah arrive.
Ah, well, is she going to do a detention then, that's the...
I'm not going to do the detention. I'm going to refuse to because no way should I be punished for something that wasn't my fault.
Well, I'm afraid she's still excluded, so she can't come to school today until she agrees to serve a detention. And as agreed yesterday at the meeting, I shall write a letter.
I think you're being totally unreasonable.
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think I am. And really, this is after long, long thought. And I have the backing of the governors and of the authority and the staff.
Of course you do. You all made your mind up before we even got into the
Well,
office.
okay. But I'm very sorry, but Deborah,
You're very
if you...
sorry?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, do you realise what this is doing to us as a family? Do you realise how ill I am over this? And do you realise what you're doing to my daughter's education? That's all right, is it? That's fine.
Deborah's doing that to her education.
I'm not
Deborah's not doing anything to her education. All she wants to do is come back to school.
And we'll be pleased to see
And
her.
all we want to do is for her to come back to school.
And we'll be pleased to see her if she has served the half-hour detention.
I'm not doing it. It's final.
Okay.
Deborah is permanently excluded from Park High.
Robert!
Robert is another who might leave at 16.
You know I'm always spick and span on time.
He's well-behaved, articulate, but not academically successful.
I don't think the teachers bother to teach them enough, and I don't know if he really wants to learn. I've no idea of how he behaves in school, whether he just larks about or whether he pays attention and gives it his all. Probably not.
Do you try at school? Honestly?
Not if I don't like the teacher.
You've always enjoyed social science before, haven't you?
No.
I thought you had last year because
No.
you were chatty and were able to...
The
You had a
only-
good report from social science.
I shouldn't have, because I didn't learn anything last year.
Robert meets with his tutor to discuss his report. The one subject he truly cares about is art, but for the second year running, he's got a bad subject assessment.
I can't see what the problem is.
Well, that's obviously the problem, isn't it? That you don't understand that there is a problem.
Yeah.
So have you spoken to Miss...
She doesn't listen.
She doesn't listen to
She
you?
doesn't listen to me.
Why do you make such a statement?
That's what I think, that's all.
For what?
She never comes over, she always goes over to everyone else. She never comes over to my table. Never. It's true. It's true. I want to pass art. I'm good at art. I have to pass art. Because I have to pass at the subject I'm best at.
Have you pushed him hard enough, do you think?
Some children you can push hard, some you can't. Robert, you can't push Robert hard.
Can you push him
just
at all?
Blanks off. That's what he does. He blanks himself off. If he's not interested, his mind goes blank.
If you're stuck with thinking that your work is of a high standard, and she clearly doesn't think so...
It is of high standard.
In your opinion, it's of a high standard.
In other people's opinion, it's of high standard.
Who's the other opinion?
My mum, my dad, my friends.
But they're not GCSE examiners, are they?
What's the difference?
Don't you think she's had some experience in terms of what is going to achieve a good grade or not?
Yeah, but also she has her opinion as well.
He was disappointed at not being made a prefect. It seems that the boys who are made prefect are either swats or some of them are even idiotic. But, you know, he never got a chance, and I think that would have made a big difference to him.
Have you even imagined a career?
Yeah, I've imagined art editor of magazines, graphic designer, but they're just dreams.
I mean, are you worried about your future?
Oh, of course, yeah. But I don't. I try not to let it worry me. But it's creeping up slowly, and there's no getting out of it. So I'm going to have to think fast.
Now it's in year 11. There's no reason for comments to be made that, unless they want you to improve what you're doing. But you don't seem to accept that in what you're doing in some areas needs improvement. And that is a great difficulty.
I'm not going to push myself hard.
Why?
Because I don't want to make myself into a nervous wreck when the exams come. I'm not working myself over until 12 o'clock at night with bags under my eyes and late nights, you know. I mean, that's not for me.
Not with his wrestling on, I mean.
Nothing. No, nothing like that's for me.
The term is nearly over. It's been a long, hard but successful 16 weeks, and it ends with the staff Christmas panto. Being a teacher nowadays is no easy life.
Potatoes just turned into black mush. They're...
I could always cancel your holiday. You realise that?
I cannot write a proper report on David's work because I hardly ever see any. He keeps telling me it's at home because he's working on it. This is admirable, but it must also be brought to lessons. Comment?
Well, I'm...
I suggest you go to room 7, supervision.
Oh,
go on.
I have to?
Come on, gang, we've got our
Stephen, get your hands out of your pockets. Ray, you can help whenever you're ready. Go for it, Ray. Right.
It's the head's farewell performance.
You're going to have an ingrowing head in a minute, Douglas. I said you're going to have an ingrowing head in a minute.
Poor Tiddle! Just give it to me, will you? Shut up. I'll take care of poor Tiddles. Ah, poor sick pussy. I'll make him better.
I resent having to walk after a pupil who I'm trying to talk to. Where's your tie? What's it doing there?
Sorry. Took it off when I went home.
Well, you don't. You look a wreck. Well, I do have a few little mumps.
Ah, not that again, look.
If I find you smoking again this term, you will be in deep trouble. Do you understand?
Sir.
Off you go. Send her in, please. Change your shoes. Get out the door first. It's the lower one. Just turn it. Their hands in sweat.
The head leaves after 4 years, having steered Park through the government's revolution in education.
Wheezes, not ideas, they're wheezes. You know, what, we haven't made a decision this week, so we better think of something new. What should we do? Well, let's try the national curriculum.
I mean, do you feel as strongly as that?
Yeah. I feel that a past Secretary of State for Education wanted to be Prime Minister. Because he wanted to be Prime Minister, he thought, right, I better do something big in education. He left a tremendous mess, and I am now devoting my entire life to trying to sort out that mess. And children are suffering for it. I feel that strongly, yeah.
Park says it's final goodbye. On his last day in charge at Park High before he moves to another school, it's fitting that the head should be the last to leave.
I've sent my own children to comprehensives, and I wouldn't have dreamt of doing otherwise. I think it's vital they mix. I think it's vital that you get every different type of person in the place. I think comprehensive schools work.
Robert got a G in his GCSE art, the lowest grade attainable. Unperturbed, he's decided to study art at college. Andreas was successful in his search for work. He's just started an apprenticeship as a mechanical engineer. And in January, under a new head, Deborah finally served her detention and was allowed to return to Park High School.
Look at the state of it, got black eye. Good, you deserve it.
You don't wear those. You are not allowed to wear those, and I don't want to see those ever again.
Boys, can you just calm down? I wouldn't let you have it done if it hurt you.
Danny, I shall miss your humour.
I won't miss those trousers. Ha, ha, ha.
Remember, Friday nights. Friday nights is special nights. I'm serious.
Happy New Year. Great success to you in the future. Bye.
There'll be another chance to see this series starting on Friday 13th of November at 6:30. For a free information handbook for parents of secondary school children, please write to Park High, Box 33.